What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Living Freed channel. My name is Tyler Freed, and in this video, I'm going to be responding to a comment that I got on my last video where the person said that I've been in trucking for 33 years and I have no money. I have nothing to show for it. Trucking is a bad business, he says. And so I'm going to be responding to that because I'm not trying to single out this person, but this is very common. It's a very common comment that I get on my videos where people say trucking's a bad business. You can't make any money. You'll end up broke by the end of your career. You'll have nothing to show for it. And I'm going to be giving my thoughts on this mentality, on this thought process. So if you're new to the channel, I appreciate you for being here. Especially if you're somebody that's in trucking, they're new to trucking, or you're looking at getting into trucking and making this a long-term career, this is the perfect video for you. So make sure you stay tuned till the very end. If you're already subscribed, I appreciate you for being here as well. But all of you, please, please, please like the video. It helps out with growing the channel. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. So I really appreciate it, or would appreciate it if you would like the video. And again, stay tuned till the very end because you got to hear the entire point I'm going to be making in my response to this person. So anyway, this person said, like I said, they're 33, they've been in trucking for 33 years and have nothing to show for it. Trucking is a bad business. Well, first of all, I'm going to address the trucking is a bad business thing before I get into the personal finance problem, because there's two problems here. One, this person did not have a plan for his career in trucking. That's number one. And so to say that trucking is a bad business, a lot of people believe that. Like 90% of people I know in trucking complain about it. 90% of them. 90% of YouTube channels that are talking about trucking are negative. 90% of articles written about trucking are negative. 90% of all the content created, so like pertaining to trucking, are negative. But here's the truth though. In every industry, only about 10% of the people in that industry reach any level of real success. That's the truth. And that's just in trucking, the medical field, in sales of any type of sales, like anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Only about 10% of Americans are above average in their success. Trucking is no different. Is trucking a tough business to be successful in? Absolutely. But like I said, that's any business. Here's the truth though. In trucking, there's so much opportunity to make money. Okay, you can talk about all the problems and all that you want to, but if you have the right plan going into trucking and you have a long-term outlook, you can make a ton of money. You can make 6 figures. You can even build a business and make 7, 8 figures. You can grow. There's no cap in trucking as to what you can make, right? Now, a lot of that's going to depend on, again, your plan. If your plan is just to get in, get your CDL, get a job, and never grow from there, yeah, it's going to be hard to make any real significant amount of money. It is 100%, because there's a cap on every job out there. It's not just trucking. There's a cap on what you can make in every job. But if you go the business route in trucking, the sky is the limit. Not to say being a company driver your whole career isn't a good thing, because it can be a good thing. Because I'm going to get into, oh, I'm broke after 33 years. That's a personal finance issue. That's not a trucking issue. And I'm going to address that. That's why I said stay tuned till the very end. But I'm going to address the trucking is a bad business. Trucking is nearly $1 trillion industry. This is a huge industry. There's so much opportunity. For those of you that think you can't make good money in trucking, you don't know what you're talking about. You're really kind of stupid, actually, if you think that you can't make good money in trucking. There's a reason why there's so many large carriers. There's a reason why so many people get into this. It's because the money can be very good. Is it great for 100% of the people? No. Like I just said, 90% of people are going to do about average or below average. They are. That's the truth. So here's the thing. I addressed this in the last video. If you want to make a lot of money in trucking, if you want to make good, and what is a lot of money to me? A lot of money is above average. The average income in America is like $70,000 a year. That's the average. And most truck drivers will make that. Their first or second year, they can make $60,000 to $70,000 in their first year nowadays with the pay rates that these companies start their drivers out at. Now, To make above that, you're going to have to do what I'm about to address. And I addressed this in the last video, but I'm going to say it again. If you want to make, 90,000, 100,000, 110,000 a year as a company driver, you can do that. You can 100% make six figures as a company driver. You can. What are you going to have to do? You're going to have to do something that most drivers are unwilling to do. You're going to have to either do OTR, find a company that pays you 60 plus cents a mile, and be OTR. Why? Because when you're OTR, the amount of miles you can get, it's a lot higher, the amount of miles you can get, because you go everywhere, especially if you're at a company that is doing all 48 states. If you do all 48 states, you're always in an area where they have a ton of freight, right? There's freight all over the country. If you're just doing regional, well, if that area of the country slows down, that'll affect your miles. That'll affect your pay. But if you go everywhere, that opens up more opportunity. And now this is without getting an endorsement or anything like that. But if you're just doing general freight, just look for a company that's paying you a good CPM and they go everywhere. If you don't want to specialize, right? So that's that. You can do that OTR, just hauling general freight, dry van, reefer, basic flatbed. You can do that without any endorsements. The second thing I would do is, if you want to get home more and make that six-figure income, you can do that as well, right? You need to, one, either get your experience to like 2 to 3 years worth of experience. You need to do that. And look for a company, again, like a Walmart, right? You need, I believe it's 30 months. I said like 2 years in the last video, but I guess it's 30 months worth of experience OTR to get hired on at Walmart. If you work for Walmart, that's a six-figure job and you're home every weekend. It's great money, great benefits, a great job, right? And you don't need any endorsements to do that. The other avenues, if you want to get home, is get your doubles, your triples, your hazmat, your tanker endorsement, and you could be home every weekend making six figures a year, great benefits, the whole 9 yards. That's very common, man. That's very common. It's not uncommon where a driver can make 100 grand or more a year. It's not. I know a lot of you think it is, but it's not. You just have to do a little bit extra. The thing is most people starting out don't get their endorsements. Most people aren't willing to stay out on the road and do OTR for long enough, right, to be able to make that kind of money. The problem is they just want to go home. And there's nothing wrong with that, but stop saying that it's a bad business and there's no money. The problem is not the business. The problem is you're not willing to get out there and make that money. And that's probably this guy's problem, and a lot of other people's problem is, again, you're just not willing to make the sacrifices. You're just not willing to go above and beyond. You're not. You don't want to do extra work. You want to do the bare minimum for the most pay. And I'm sorry, that's not how life works. If I'm employing somebody, I'm going to pay you what you're worth. I'm going to pay you what the market says you're worth, right? Think about it. Somebody who has all their endorsements versus somebody who doesn't, who's worth more? As a driver, who's worth more to a company that hauls tanker freight, right? They haul gas. Well, obviously they can't hire the driver that doesn't have their tanker endorsement, right? And they're going to pay more to that driver who has that, right? They're going to pay more to him because he's more valuable. He does something that most other drivers don't do. They can't do, right? And so just set yourself apart, right? Set yourself apart from the rest of the drivers, and you will be in that top 10% of income for drivers. You will, 100%, without buying a truck. Now, is trucking a bad business on the business side? No, and I've addressed this before. If you want to make a lot of money in trucking and be successful long-term as an owner-operator, the number one thing, in my opinion, is you need to have a low cost of operation. Now, and I think this applies to every sector of trucking, you need to have a low cost of operation. In my opinion, you need to be debt-free. You need to have a solid emergency fund, usually about 30 to 40 grand after you buy that truck, set aside in cash. That's to cover any major repairs needed to be done to that truck. So pay cash for your truck. Why pay cash? Well, because you have a low cost of operation. You can haul freight for cheaper and still be really profitable, while all these other guys have huge truck payments. They're not profitable. Their expenses are way too high. So you're more competitive when you have no debt in your business. You're much more competitive, and you can sustain the down periods. And whenever we go into a bull market in trucking, you're absolutely killing it. But no matter what situation we're in, you're doing well no matter what, because you have no debt, that low cost of operation. And you have a good solid emergency fund. I always recommend that, because when you buy a truck, man, we know how it is. These trucks break, and it costs a lot of money to repair these trucks. Have a good $30,000 to $40,000 emergency fund above whatever it costs for the truck, and you're set up. And you can go just about anywhere and do pretty well, right? You can, even in the times we're in now where the freight market's not great, but you will still survive and do pretty well with that low cost of operation. That goes for every single sector, dry van, reefer, flatbed, doesn't matter. Though that financial foundation will help you sustain any environment. It will, 100%. So that's all I'll say about the owner op thing. I'm not going to really comment on the fleet owner thing, because I don't have 2 trucks. I own 1 truck. It's paid for, and I have the exact same situation I just told you about. I have that emergency fund. I have a debt-free business, and that's what I'm doing. Now, can you grow way past 1 truck? Absolutely. If you are that ambitious, you can grow to 5 trucks, 10 trucks, become a mega carrier. The sky is the limit in trucking. Nothing's stopping you from making really good money in trucking. The only thing stopping you is your work ethic and your mentality. That's it, 100%. Could I just keep buying trucks where I'm at right now and grow a fleet? Absolutely. 100% I could do that. And my income would just continue to grow as I do that. It would. But a lot of you don't want to do that. That's okay. You don't have to invest in trucking. A lot of you are like, man, I never want to own a truck. That's too much responsibility. It's too much of a headache. Well, do the first thing. Don't just come into trucking though with no plan, right? Know what you want to do. A lot of people, you don't want to start a business. Oh, you don't have to. Again, I told you, you can make 6 figures a year company driving and invest in other stuff. Invest in real estate, invest in stocks. The problem with that guy's comment is you had no plan for your career. And the second thing is your personal financial situation. I'm going to end with this, is the most important thing for all people in trucking. Really all Americans in general, but for all people in trucking, whether you're company, owner op, fleet owner, doesn't matter. I always talk about this on my channel. The first thing you should be focused on when you get in is, when you get into trucking, is 1, getting your experience, of course, and working your way up to making really good money. But while you're doing that, you use your income to 1, get out of debt. After you're out of debt, 2, you build a 6-month emergency fund in cash, and this covers any unforeseen expenses, right, that could pop up in your personal life. So for most people, a good, out of debt and having a good 10 to 15 grand saved up in cash in a savings account to cover any unforeseen emergencies, right? You've laid a solid foundation. Most people would be good with that. And then above that 6-month emergency fund, you start investing your money. You start taking a percentage of your income, 20, 25, 30% of your income, 40%, 50%, whatever number is comfortable for you, and you start investing your money. You start saving up to buy assets. For me, what I've done is I've bought stocks. That's what I've been investing in. And specifically, I buy low-cost, broad-based index funds. I pretty much buy a global stock market index that you buy every stock, or I buy every stock in the world held at market cap weights. And that's what I do. I've been investing in the global stock market for the last 5.5 years. And it's resulted in a multi-6-figure net worth. I'm just turned 30. I started out in trucking when I was 24, turning 25, pretty much from 25 to 30. And that's what I've done. I've stayed out of debt. I had an emergency fund, and I've been investing about 50 to 60% of my income into low-cost, broad-based index funds. Specifically, I buy the Globe, and I hold it at market cap weights. That's what I've been doing. And it's gotten me to this point where I could pay cash for a truck and still have a nest egg for retirement, for my long-term financial goals. And can anybody do this? Yes. When I hear somebody say, oh, I've been in trucking and I have nothing to show for it, That's because you had no plan for your career, and I addressed that, and for your finances. You probably spent all the money you made on useless stuff. You didn't save anything. You didn't save anything. You didn't learn how to invest your money. You don't have to buy stocks. I'm a stock market investor. I do two things. I buy low-cost index funds, and I have a truck, right? I'm an owner-operator. I have a small trucking business. That's it. That's what I invest in right now. But could you save up, buy real estate, start owning rental properties and stuff like that? Absolutely. Absolutely, you can do that. Just whatever your plan is, stick with that plan and focus on getting good at your career, making really good money, living debt-free, and then learning how to buy assets and build real wealth. Because look, in trucking, you can make great money, but I'm going to tell you the truth. Will you ever get rich, truly wealthy from a job? No. I don't care what you are. You could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer. You're not going to get truly rich alone from that. That is your job, your career is how you fund what will make you really wealthy, right? Trucking, yeah, this is my main income. This is my main income, and I can make great money in trucking. But ultimately, the real wealth is what I have invested in the stock market, because that money invested in stocks, I don't have to work for that income. Those dividends and that stock price appreciation, I don't have to work for that money. That is truly a passive investment, and it works for me. It makes me money whether I work or not. Trucking, I gotta work to make this money. I'm using trucking to invest in assets that I can hold until really I'm long gone, right? This is building generational wealth, but I'm using trucking to do so. It's that simple. I'm using trucking to build wealth. So that's why I always preach that on my channel. Hey, don't just try to make all your money in trucking. Don't even try to just build a business in trucking and that's all you do to make money. Never have one flow of income, right? That's the thing. Yes, trucking, you can make six figures, but it's what you do with your money that matters more than anything, right? It's what you do with that. It's you're making your money make money for you, whether you work or not. That is the key to building wealth, no matter what field you're in. A lot of you are thinking, man, I'm going to strike it rich in trucking. No, you're not. You're going to use this income to build real wealth from trucking, right? Yeah, it can be a great source of income. That's what it is. That's what most careers are. I don't care what you do. Engineer, doctor, lawyer. Yeah, you can make great money in all these careers. Trucking's the same as all those other careers. It is, but it's not the income you make from that builds real wealth. It's what you do with the money you make that builds real wealth. Long story short, so there's no reason, if you're watching this video and you watch my channel and you get into trucking and don't at least get ahead financially, all you got to do, it's very simple. Get and stay out of debt, have an emergency fund, and then after that, learn about investments, learn about investing in stocks, learn about investing in real estate, learn how to start your own business, learn how to become an investor, and that's where you're going to build that real wealth, and you can become a millionaire from a simple job like trucking, right? You can, 100%. You don't ever have to buy a truck to become a millionaire working in trucking. You don't. You can make an average income. You could make 70 to 80,000 a year your whole career, and if you invested 20% of that, you would become a multi-millionaire by the time you retired. If you started out at 25 and just did that till you were 60, 65 years old, you would retire filthy rich, and you would never have to buy a truck, never have to grow a fleet, none of that. You would just have to be disciplined with your money and know how to invest it properly. And it's not that hard to learn how to become an investor. What I do is very simple. I don't even buy single stocks. I don't speculate on crypto. I don't do any of that. I buy low-cost, broad-based index funds, and I'm just slow and steady. I invest a large percentage of my income into that, and I've been doing that for, like I said, 5.5, 6 years now, and it's resulted in me being where I'm at, which is amazing. I never thought I would be where I'm at, and it's amazing what a simple plan can do for you and for everybody watching this. Literally everybody watching this can do what I'm talking about. So again, that's my video for today. The person that commented on my my last video, thank you for the comment, because you helped me with another video to make. But I hope none of you watching this that actually enjoy my channel, I hope none of you watching this end up in that situation. There's no excuse today. There's books, there's videos, there's documentaries you can watch. You can learn so much. We have all information is available for free now. There's no excuse why you can't learn how to become an investor and build wealth from trucking. There's no excuse for that. And yeah, that's what I'm going to end with. So I appreciate each and every one of you for watching my channel. And maybe in the next video, I'm thinking about doing another video covering different index funds. I've done a video on that before in the past, but I'll cover some different index funds and I'll show you the numbers. I'll show you, hey, if you make 70 grand a year and you invest 20% of that for 30 years, here's what your net worth could be by the time you retire. I'll do a video like that again. If that's what y'all want to see, let me know in the comment section below. I'll do that and show you exactly what I'm talking about and how easy it is really to build wealth from trucking. It's very easy. It's hard work, yes, but it's a simple strategy that anybody can do and have a lot of success with. So I hope y'all stay tuned for that video. That's what I'm going to do next. And yeah, I appreciate each and every one of you for watching me. Whether you're new, whether you're somebody that's already subscribed, I appreciate it. Again, stay tuned for the next video. God bless and peace out.